Ladies and gentlemen, the takeover of Europe is part of the global fight of Islam for world domination. Let's just say honestly the truth. And Islam, ladies and gentlemen, is not a religion. It's not a religion. Of course, it has religious symbols. It has a holy book. It has temples. It has a God. But still, it's not a religion. It's an ideology. It's a totalitarian ideology. Of course, there are moderate Muslims. There are many moderate Muslims. But please, believe me, there is no and there never will be a moderate Islam. Islam, the heart of Islam lies at the Quran. And the Quran is a book that calls for violence, that calls for murder, that calls for terrorism, that calls for submission. The Quran, as you saw in Fitna, describes Jews as monkeys and pigs. The Quran calls upon Muslims to kill non-Muslims. And the commands in the Quran are not limited to any place or time. And the Quran, as you know, is Allah's, is God's personal word to Muslims. And that is why, even today, the Quran inspires jihadists all over the world to slaughter innocent people, whether it's in Washington, New York, Amsterdam, Madrid, London, or Mumbai. And in his book, The Second World War, for which he received the Nobel Prize in Literature, Winston Churchill, the great Winston Churchill, compared the Quran to Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. And I fully agree with him. Ladies and gentlemen, Islam always attempted to conquer Europe. Spain, as you know, fell in the 8th century. Constantinople fell in the 15th century. And now, in the 21st century, Islam is trying again. This time, not in a conventional war. This time, not with armies, but through the application of Al-Hijrah. Al-Hijrah, the Islamic doctrine of migration. And unfortunately, this Al-Hijrah, this immigration doctrine, is very, very successful. For the first time in world history, there are dozens of millions of Muslims living far